I've been very blessed with a great life. I mean, poker has blessed me with amazing things. I wouldn't trade my life in for anyone. I've been really, really lucky.
Phil Ivey may be the greatest poker player in the world and is worth millions.
How many hands I miss?
He plays or wagers on just about anything, from golf and basketball to craps and baccarat.
I know him to be a sharp.
You know him to be?
A sharp. He's a very sharp player. He's a guy you just don't want in your joint. He's very, very smart.
And very, very intense, as we saw firsthand when we asked him about accusations that he cheated 2 casinos out of over $20 million.
In the secretive world of high-stakes gambling, Phil Ivey is the highest of rollers. He's young, handsome, rich, and very private. He rarely gives interviews. Poker is his game of choice, and after winning his 10th career championship bracelet at the World Series of Poker this summer, he is arguably the best in the world. But Ivey plays other casino games as well, and his success at the game of baccarat has led to allegations of cheating and lawsuits with 2 of the largest casinos in the world, which is why he has decided to break his silence and speak out now to 60 Minutes Sports. Ivey is known for his incredible intensity at the poker table, and it was no surprise that he had the same focus in our interview. As the biggest name in gambling, he is facing the biggest challenge of a career that has always had the Midas touch.
I've been very blessed with a great life. I mean, poker has blessed me with amazing things. I wouldn't trade my life in for anyone. I've been really, really lucky.
It's a typical day for Phil Ivey. He hops into his Rolls Royce for the drive from his home to the Las Vegas Strip. 20 minutes later, the best poker player in the world is ushered through the back entrance of the casino, because if he went through the front door, he would be mobbed by fans.
I'm just ready to go. Ready to get that first hand in the air.
Just get it on, huh?
Get this grind going. You know?
And then into his sanctuary, a packed ballroom where he will compete in the World Series of Poker.
How many hands I miss?
Ivey is settling in for another 14-hour day of poker in the annual 7-week tournament. It's a routine he has mastered for most of his adult life.
When did you realize you were good?
I realized I was good at poker somewhere around 16 or 17, but I figured out that I could be really good at it when I was, I would say, 21.
Ivey grew up a world away from his home overlooking the Las Vegas Strip in the working-class town of Roselle, New Jersey. He was part of a large, close-knit family headed by his grandfather.
Everybody always went to my grandfather. They ever needed anything, needed money, needed help, needed someone to talk to. He had his own business. I learned a lot from him.
He learned a lot indeed. His grandfather introduced him to poker at the age of 8, after Ivey accidentally walked into a private game in the back room of his local barbershop.
Saw some guys back there with cars. They were smoking cigars, playing poker. They had money on the table. So I told my grandfather, I said, what were they doing? He said, oh, they were playing poker. I said, can you teach me how to do that? Teach me how to play? So we got the penny jar out. He showed me how to play. The first game I played was 5-card stud.
Ivey became obsessed with gambling, and soon, as a young high schooler, he was heading down to Atlantic City on the weekends.
I think I was 15, 16, somewhere around there.
And you're supposed to be how old?
21. And I'm not encouraging this, but I got a hold of a fake ID, and I started playing down there in the casinos. I would take a bus down, playing in different casinos, play blackjack, play craps, play poker, and, you know, mostly lose. I'll build up some money. I had a job at McDonald's, win some money, go down on the weekends, play, lose my money, go back in, go to work, do it again.
Ivey went by the name Jerome, and he became known in Atlantic City as the black kid who played poker all day long. After he graduated high school, gambling became his full-time passion, much to his parents' chagrin.
They hated it. You know, they didn't want me playing poker. You know, they wanted me to go to college and go that direction in life. But, you know, I love to play poker. I still do. It's something I just was attracted to from the very beginning. And that's all I wanted to do. And that's all I did. I played poker 15, 16 hours a day for like 10 years.
Phil Ivey shot to international fame. By 25, he won 4 World Series of Poker bracelets. By 30, he became a brand with lots of endorsements. And today, at 37, he resides on top of the gambling world, with homes in Las Vegas, Cabo San Lucas, and Macau.
The corner phrase, you're young, you're gifted, you're black, highly successful, the whole 9 yards. Has race been a factor at all?
Has race been a factor? No. Not in poker. In poker, they only see one color, that's green.
According to a website that tracks poker earnings, Phil Ivey has won over $21 million in official poker tournaments during his career. Of course, that does not include earnings from various side bets, private games, endorsements, and investments.
For Phil Ivey, it's good to be Phil Ivey.
But right now, Ivey is facing the biggest challenge of his career. The game in question is Baccarat, a game made famous in James Bond movies.
I admire your luck, Mr.
Bond. James Bond.
Similar to blackjack, the goal is to get to 9 instead of 21. 2 casinos accuse Ivey of cheating them out of over $20 million while playing Baccarat.
Once you get cheater next to your name, especially in my business, which is the business of gambling, it's really bad. You know what I mean? That's the worst thing that you could be labeled as. And casinos have a tendency to label cheater. They take cheating and advantage play as the same thing, when it's a big, big difference.
Advantage play is the term for any number of strategies used by players to exploit weaknesses in the house. It is an accepted practice among gamblers, but discouraged by casinos. Phil Ivey says he did nothing wrong, but his accusers say he did, and are 2 of the largest casinos in the world, the Borgata in Atlantic City and Crockford's in London. At the Borgata, Ivey won $9.6 million while playing Baccarat over 4 months in 2012. Over the course of 2 days in August of that year, Ivey won over £7.5 million, or about $12 million, at Crockford's. The Borgata paid Ivey, but is now suing to get its money back. Crockford's withheld Ivey's winnings, and he is suing them in a British court.
They spend millions and millions of dollars on game protection, and it's their job to protect their game. And I'm viewing the casino as my opponent. It's my job to try to exploit weaknesses in the house and try to give myself the best opportunity to win.
We asked for interviews with both casinos, but they turned us down, citing the ongoing legal cases. But a look at the lawsuits show that both casinos accuse Ivey of something called edge sorting, an old but sophisticated way of reading the back of the cards. In high-stakes gambling, edge sorting is not illegal, but casinos have the right to ban people known as advantage players because of their skill.
I wouldn't let Phil Ivey play slots in a place I was working at.
You wouldn't let him play?
Hell no.
Jim Hartley is a gambling expert with over 25 years of experience helping Las Vegas casinos protect themselves against cheats and advantage players alike.
Edge sorting is simply taking advantage of imperfectly cut casino cards. The, quote, imperfection is right along here.
Here's how it works. During the production process of cutting casino cards, the cuts of the edges are not identical, making it possible for a trained eye to identify certain cards by their edge designs.
Edge sorting's not easy. It's difficult.
Not easy.
It's not easy.
Even for the advantage player?
Even for the advantage player.
Hartley says the casinos have a complicated relationship with high rollers like Phil Ivey. The casino grants the player certain privileges, and the player agrees to make large bets. Each side is looking to take the other's money.
That's what they do. So if you come in and we say, oh, we'd love to have you gamble in our casino, man. You're on TV. Oh, it'd be awesome. We'll give you a suite and, we'll pick you up at the airport and your rooms, food, beverage, everything's on us. Here's tickets to the fight this weekend. But we want you to put, you got to play blackjack. You got to bet $5,000 a hand. You got to play 20 hours.
In Phil Ivey's cases, he anteed up big dollars to play Baccarat.
How much money did you wire to Crockford's in London?
I wired £1 million.
And to the Borgata in Atlantic City?
$3 million US.
A significant amount of money.
That's correct. That was one of the reasons why they granted all the requests that I made because I wired the money up front. And they knew they had an opportunity to win, a decent amount of money.
Phil Ivey readily admits to edge sorting, but it's the requests that he made at both casinos that are at the crux of the cases. He asked for several conditions that would enable him to read the back of the cards better, including using a specific brand of cards and playing with the same decks of cards for all of his games.
I made a request for a shuffle machine.
Okay. Why did you want that particular shuffle machine?
Because I wanted the cards to remain in a certain order.
And they agreed to that?
And they agreed to that, yes.
Second request?
I requested an Asian dealer.
And the reason you wanted an Asian dealer?
The Asians deal Punto and Banco the most, which is Baccarat. I felt more comfortable with the Asian dealer. My companion was Asian.
And your companion, you mentioned, was Asian. And the reason that was important to you?
Because she was a part of my strategy. She was a part of my strategy and able and giving me the ability to execute this advantage play of mine.
And she could communicate, I'm assuming, with the dealer as well, too, who spoke Mandarin.
Sure.
And the casino agreed to these requests?
The casinos agreed to every request made.
In both lawsuits, the casinos mention Ivey's Asian companion. Her name is Chen Yen Sun. She is a known advantage player who has been banned from other casinos in the past because of her expertise in edge sorting. The Borgata and Crockford's claim Sun spoke in Mandarin to the dealers and instructed them to turn cards so that she and Ivey could identify them.
They don't like the way she plays. It's a competitive business. They don't want you coming in there winning their money. They want to win, just like I do. So if you're an advantage player, just like you're a card counter, they ask you not to play.
So casinos have that right to say you can't play in our casino?
Yeah, they have the right to say we don't want your business.
But they did not say that at Crockford's about your companion, Miss Sun?
No, they allowed her to play.
Nor at the Borgata in Atlantic City?
Nor at the Borgata.
They agreed again to all of your requests?
Once again, they agreed to all my requests.
So, Phil, in your mind, how much of an advantage did your successful effort at edge sorting give you?
I had somewhere around a 5 or 6% advantage. And guess what? I still could have lost.
But in all fairness, to be candid about it, even the slightest advantage to someone with your skill level can be pretty significant.
Sure, sure. And that's why I was in there.
And the thing with Phil is, I know him to be a sharp.
You know him to be?
A sharp. He's a very sharp player. He's a guy you just don't want in your joint. He's very, very smart, and, he's got an edge, period.
Both casinos allege that Ivey was not forthright in his reasons for making the requests and say that he led them to believe the requests were based on superstition. But Phil Ivey maintains he did nothing wrong.
If I make a request and the House grants it, then how could that be cheating? That's me making a request to give myself an advantage, you granting it, saying it's okay.
The casinos are saying that there is an implied contract, an agreement between the player, the advantage player, you, and the House, that you're going to play by fair rules, and that the fact that you did not divulge that the cards had a defect, in effect, was illegal, improper. You broke that implied contractual agreement. I
disagree, and that's why we're going to court. Cheating is using a device or using having information available that both parties aren't privy to. Then that could be considered cheating. But having an advantage over a casino like such as card counting or edge sorting or ace sequencing is perfectly legal play. I haven't found not one expert, that hasn't said that what I did was perfectly legal.
We contacted several game protection experts for interviews, but most declined, claiming conflicts of interest with international casinos they work for. Jim Hartley was the only expert to talk to us on camera. He agrees with Ivey and says the Borgata and Crockfords have no one to blame but themselves.
He made him look bad. He played him for a chump. And they looked at it and they said, oh, shit, what are we going to do? So they went back after their money.
Because Phil Ivey is maintaining he did absolutely nothing wrong, that his requests were part of his advantage play strategy.
Correct.
Does that sound reasonable?
It's exactly what it was.
So at the end of the day, did Phil Ivey do anything illegal in your mind?
Did the New Jersey State Police arrest him?
No.
No, they did not. So my answer is the same as the New Jersey State Police. I do not believe that that was cheating. He did not alter the elements of chance. He didn't alter his wager. He didn't mark the cards. He did not physically do anything. They did it for him. Okay, and that's the way most scams work, right?
Now, some people might react adversely to the use of the word scam.
Yeah, I don't consider the word scam bad. So
At the heart of the matter is whether Phil Ivey's scam is cheating or fair play. Ivey is waiting for a New Jersey judge to decide on the Borgata suit, and this month his case against Crockford's is being heard in a London court. He could lose his money and his reputation.
Some people believe that it was cheating. I know it wasn't. The professional gamblers know it's not. I wouldn't do anything close to cheating. I mean, my reputation is everything in gambling. To risk my reputation over winning some money, I would not do that.
At the end of the day, in your mind, you did absolutely nothing wrong, nothing illegal.
Absolutely, 100%. I did nothing wrong and nothing illegal.